Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading room. My apologies. Just trying to get everything up and running here this morning. All right, so it looks like yesterday was quite the roller coaster. I was reviewing yesterday's trading here before we got going this morning, and wow, what a wild ride. At least as the day progressed, it looked like it was fairly quiet for most of the morning session. And then around the lunch hour, things kind of broke loose, and the market just like a bucking bronco, higher and lower, all over the map. This morning, we're opening with a little bit of a gap. If you take a look at where the market left off here yesterday, it looks like the close was somewhere near 6,900, and we're opening around 69, well, almost 69.50, 69.45. So we do have a little bit of a downside gap. We'll see whether prices try to get into there. Obviously, it's still early. We're only a few minutes into today's session, although it does seem to have a little bit of a bullish flavor to start. Again, if you look at the overnight, the buyer is very, very active. For those of you who like your first in sync eagle signal of the day, well, there it is right there. There's your first signal. And it looks like it's even offering you a second push opportunity. The second push simply means we allow the signal to engage. And then we see where the signal flinches. And then we can use those parameters to structure our trade. I may wait a couple minutes. Just to see how things start to play out. I think it's fairly safe to assume that if we see the market break some of this support that's formed here around the 69.35 area, I think it's a fairly safe bet that the market will try to get into that opening range gap. But like I said, it's still very early. So far, the bulls still managing to rally the market some. And this eagle trade, if you were in it, we're about halfway to our profit target. Probably prudent to either look at taking profit at this point or at least bringing this trade up to break even. A little more selling coming into the market now. I do believe that 69.55 was near yesterday's highs as well, if I remember correctly. That's where the market got hammered yesterday. That's where all the sellers were hiding. We'll see whether they do the same thing today. A little bit of a bearish push there now. All right, so the hawk now here into red bars already. The falcon working a possible trend change. The eagle and the raptor, well, the eagle's still full on bullish. The raptor now into the hard edge and giving us a little bit of a hard edge bounce. There's that number 3 signal, that hard edge bounce. We're already getting a green bar sell here in the hawk. That's actually the type of signal that would tend to develop near the end of a downtrend, but it is still a tradable signal. I'm not sure I want to get too crazy on the short side just yet, but I would open up to a number 2 signal now here on the raptor. That would give us a failure, a test of the extreme. So a retest of the high, a failure, and that would give us a selling opportunity. Sometimes it's hard to judge with these huge opening gaps whether the market is going to try to get in there or not, but I'll give it a go. So here now, the number 2 signal developing. You see, we've got the warning dot, we've got the retest of the high, we've got the warning dot. I can throw a just in case order in here below the lows. All right, so it looks like the signal's actually going to print here around 69.45. There we go. That now the number 2 signal. I know it didn't print as a number 2 signal, and it's probably because we got 1 or 2 extra bars in here that fall outside of the programming. But that's what it is. It is a counter trend signal. And if they try to fill me to the short side here, I will try to run it out on the off chance the market's going to try to fill the gap. Again, very risky proposition here in that we have a strong uptrend, and hey, it's a counter trend trade. By their nature, counter trend trades are always risky. It could actually give it another tick or two here on the entry, but I'll leave well enough alone for now. They're thinking about it. All right, so here we go. We'll see what the sellers can do. We're contending now with the low of the morning. As well as the hard edge of the trading band. We should see a break here shortly, and then we'll be able to determine whether the breakout's going to stick or not. I could probably bring my stops in here above this little swing high. 69.51, I think it is. 69.53. Okay, there's the break. Here's the slight reaction to the breakout. I would really like a one and done type trade. If this market fell off, got into that opening gap, that should see us trade back somewhere around, well, let's see, we've got the first primary resistance line at 69.32.5. And after that, we are down here to 69.17.75. That would be a pretty good move right there. They're thinking about it. I do believe that we have hit our high probability profit target. Right now, we're still at a scalp target. Well, look at that. The buyer's not willing to let go of the market just yet. The clouds crossing here a little bit, kind of suggesting the market a little neutral at the moment. Let's see what's going on here. Had a nice little trend change here in the Falcon. First micro macro cross, macro pullback here in the Hawk. And the Eagle, of course, back now into the hard edge. So the Eagle still bullish. The other tools, well, certainly a little bit more neutral. I would like it a whole lot better if the market got away from this hard edge a little bit, broke below here, stayed below. The hard edge, of course, very influential. Breaking here the current low of the morning would be nice as well. That would kind of set things up nicely. Come on, here we go. Oh my goodness, they just do not want to commit. I want to get my trade down to break even already. We'll put a break even over here, and let's see about a stop. You know what? I should take the break even. All right, there we go. The seller's got to come through now, or I'm going to take a look at getting out and perhaps re-entering on a number one signal if the market does continue lower. I'm doing my best to be patient with this market. Come on. Let's take a look at some of the stop strategies I might employ. Looks like the ATR following it not too badly. Maybe I'll give it just a little bit more room. All right, there we go. Turn on the ATR. Come on, let's get going. There we go. There we go. Now we're through the primary resistance zone. It's probably going to be a little bit of a reaction here, but there's a chance that we're going to maybe pick up a little downside momentum. But that's what I'm hoping anyway. So you can see we're getting a little bit of a pushback here now. I imagine, yeah, here we go. I was going to say, I imagine the eagle is trying to turn over. And that's what we've got going on here. The eagle, we're contending with this little support area back here, 69.35. And now that we're through there, hopefully the eagle's not going to make a much larger retest of the high. That would be bad. Especially now that my stops are at break even. Oh no, actually, sorry, they're down here, 69.39. The Hawk and the Falcon both fully in bear mode now. Okay, and now we got the official cloud crossover signal here on the Raptor. So the Raptor also really looking a lot more bearish at the moment. And if we can get below the low, come on. If we get below the low, I think 69.20, or sorry, what was my next target? 69.17 3/4. Although 69.20 would make for a nice target as well. Maybe I shouldn't be too greedy about that. I'll throw in a target at 69.20. That will pretty much be a two-zone move as far as the support and resistance suite goes. There's zone number 1. There's zone number 2. You can see here, this is also, looks like near the lows of yesterday's opening range. So far, the trade progressing quite nicely, though. And I suppose there's the potential for it to head lower still after 69.17 3/4. The primary support line down here at 69.03 and 6900. Just reviewing what was going on yesterday, seemed to be a fairly influential number, as you would imagine it to be. I'm pretty happy with the trade, the way it's going, though, so I don't think I'm going to mess with it too much. I'm doing my best not to tweak myself out of a good trade here. Oh, by the way, folks, I do have some commitments for a few days this week. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to close the trading room at the bottom of the hour today. My apologies. I just got a bunch of meetings, and I just don't have time to run the room to the lunch hour. So we're going to close it a little bit early today. I'm halfway tempted to just let the ATR do its thing and eliminate my profit-taking order. Or conversely, there's a fair amount of open profit there. You could tighten your stops as well. Oh, don't look too far back now. All right, well, we'll just let that go, and hopefully it will get down to my profit target. Okay, they're getting a little bit close here to my stops. Hopefully, I can ride out this swing. If this primary resistance line holds the market down, there's a good chance I'm going to get to my profit target. Oh no, get away from there. Nope, not quite enough downside momentum at the moment, but a pretty good trade anyhow. I can't complain about that. Not quite the home run trade I was thinking about, but like I said, can't complain. So we're getting a little bit of bullish pushback now. The gap, I suppose, almost filled. It's probably why buyers are starting to get a little bit more interested. The market's still fairly neutral, though. Well, see, here come the buyers. They're trying to take back everything the sellers just did. Well, it might be a one and done type day just because we may not get another opportunity here. We're into the hard edge. My concern is, are we going to see a bigger pullback? Are we going to see the market trying to retest this 69.55 area before potentially falling off again? Where we are right now, around the 69.40 zone, this is where the bears really lit it up yesterday afternoon when the market fell off really, really sharply. So we're going to get a hard edge bounce. That's going to be our number 3 signal. See, there's the number 3. Let's see if we get a second push opportunity. I'll throw a signal, an order in here below the lows. That'll be my just in case order. And we'll see here in the moment whether we get a better entry opportunity. My concern, of course, is that the old resistance is now going to act as support and actually end up pushing the market higher. All right, so I can adjust my trade slightly. Not quite into the hard edge again, but close, very close. So it's nice to see some reactions going on there. The best entry still below the lows here, but I will consider selling here through this little swing zone. And now we're actually showing up with the green warning dot. So this might be an order that you would prefer to do an OCO type structure on, in which case you could look to enter above those highs. You could look to short below these lows. And we'll get another stop in play here. And I'll take the break even. Okay, so we are short again from the number 3 signal. And now we are down here to the median line. I'm going to run the parabolics this time in anticipation of the market perhaps reacting to that 69.17 zone. I'll be a little bit more aggressive covering the trade. So not quite the one and done I was hoping for, but looks like had the right idea, just couldn't ride out this big swing that was there. And let me hold my stop above that little swing. All right, I'll re-engage them now. Sometimes the parabolic, you'll notice when the market's kind of hesitating like this, it will try to slip down a little bit, and that will make you just a little bit too tight if this market is going to stay below the 69.17 zone. Come on, let's go. All right, I will re-engage my parabolics. And with a little bit of luck, we'll stay below 69.17. And that will see the market drift down here to the 69.03 primary support zone. And that will be a huge move. Oop. Didn't mean to turn them off. There we go. All right, wow, Rode survived another mini swing. I don't think we're going to do it again, though, if the market bounces here. Oh, it looks like it's going to do that, and it looks like I'm going to get tagged. All right, well, I can't complain too much about that. You can see just a major decline here. Trade forecaster correctly forecasting we are in trend mode, so the pullbacks have been less frequent, less pronounced. A nice little trend change signal there on the eagle. No problem getting down to your high probability profit target. The hawk, you would have had to look at getting the failure here of the red bar buy, because your first micro macro cross developing very, very late, which is unusual, but it can happen if the signal parameters are not met as per the programming. But it's been a fairly profitable morning here this morning. Went 2 for 2. And it looks like now we've woken up the buyers, and they're going to try to push the market up a little bit higher. I don't think I'm going to have another trade in me, though. Thanks, Scott. Scott says, yay, nice trade, E. Did you get your 2 ticks out of that one, Scott? Sorry, I couldn't resist. It's, these are the kinds of days, I was going to say that make trading fun. Any day that you make a profit is a fun day, to be sure, but the days where the market actually has some follow through on the signals, right? You print a signal, even if we took the number 1 right here on the hash mark, okay, there's a little bit of a pushback, not a problem. The market comes out of the range as it should and goes down to the signal. The number 2 signal here, which did not print, but we identified anyhow. Here, even the number 3 signal into the open. At least there's a little bit of follow through on the signals. Those are the kinds of days that make trading a whole lot easier. Those days when you get the whole barber pole action going on behind the scenes, where you print a signal and another signal and another signal, and there never seems to be enough follow through on it. Those are annoying. And it's important to recognize the difference, to recognize the days when the market is trending better and those days when it is not. To that end, the trade forecaster can be a very useful tool for helping you identify what the current market environment is and what the next one is likely to be. You can see we're going to be drifting here from trend mode, shortly coming to an end, and we're going to go into swing mode. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that we're probably going to see more frequent pullbacks, bigger moves higher and lower. So long as we stay out of scalp mode always a nuisance. Okay, the buyer is getting a little bit more aggressive here now. We do have a first micro macro cross to buy on the hawk. We have a trend change signal here on the falcon as well. And we do have a second push opportunity. Again, this is technically counter trend, so you do need to be careful. I probably, if I were going to do it, I might throw a single on it and definitely look at taking profit on target, even though there is the potential here for a bigger pullback. Right now, the market is just screaming downtrend. So I think any move higher is going to be viewed by traders as a better selling opportunity. We'll leave this one up here, though. We'll just see how it plays out, if it in fact gets up there and fulfills this signal. It is a valid signal. It is a high probability signal, but like I said, I think I'm done here for the moment. Oh, it may even develop into a late filter entry signal. Look at that. Filter out of sync, trend line still in sync. We're not printing a signal just yet. However, if the market continues higher here, there's a very good chance we're going to print another buy signal. That would be your late filter entry signal on the falcon. All right, they're going to need to recover it now because they're kind of losing their grip here on the trend line. No, so the signal has been spoiled. It is still a trend change signal, but like I said, it's counter trend. I think it's important that you do take the context into account. In this case, the context, I think, is telling us the market, at the moment anyways, is still very much in a downtrend. All right, gang, we got a few minutes here still before I need to button up the room. So if anyone has any questions, please ask away. Here, the Raptor is now going to produce, look at the Hawk. The Hawk is starting to break up a lot. The Falcon starting to waffle a little bit, not nearly as much as the Hawk. But what interests me here is in the Raptor, we're starting to break up. We're starting to get some yellow bars. We've printed a hard edge bounce signal. That's the number 3 signal. If we produce a number 2 signal here now, a number 2 signal on the heels of a number 3 signal tends to have a little bit better chance of working out. Now, like I said, everything is still in bear mode here, so you don't want to get too crazy on the buy side, but just pointing it out. If this support holds and the market rallies up, we'll produce a number 2 signal. I might even, reserve entry until we get above that high. I think that's probably prudent. Or you have another OCO type setup here where you could bracket to short below the lows, buy above that swing high right there, and I think you pretty much have the market pinched. Because on the one hand, we're looking for a resumption of the downtrend. On the other hand, a break above the last swing high could entice a few more buyers. Yeah, see, this is the danger whenever you start thinking counter trend, everybody loads up on the buy side thinking, oh, the market has to reverse, and then all of a sudden, boom, big move lower. The buyer's not letting up. Okay, well, it's starting to look like there could be a little bit of a bullish pushback here. But again, I would be a little bit cautious about getting too aggressive on the buy side at the moment. All right, gang, if anyone has any questions, please type away. Otherwise, I'm going to have to shut up the room here for the morning. And we'll do it all again tomorrow, of course. This week, oh yeah, next week's a short week. Memorial Day on Monday. So Friday is going to be a little bit of a zoo. And we'll see how the rest of the week progresses. If you are going to trade the remainder of the morning here, well, 69.03, you can see just below us after that, the next support line, 68.88.5. If we don't get a reaction here at 69.03, you're pretty much guaranteed a reaction, 68.88.5. That would be a huge move for the bears today, as it is a very strong bear market so far. I don't think at this stage we're going to see too much of a pullback. If anything, the market could end up drifting sideways, but I would be flabbergasted if the market got all the way back up toward the highs of the morning. All right, everyone, have yourselves a wonderful day. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.